How many more days until Panthers hockey starts? And I mean regular season? Just how many days? Man, I knew this was going to be a tough battle. But my gosh, could you have painfully do any efforts? Really? It's Miami Dolphins going up against Seattle Seahawks, like I talked about in the preview. I mentioned how better Geno Smith has gotten, and he's gotten a couple of touchdowns. Man, I gotta tell you, I'm sorry I have to say this, and I'm gonna blatantly be honest, brutally honest by the end of this video. Skylar Thompson played horrible. He was awful today. He really was. I'm sorry. He was terrible today. He had a couple of good throws, but that's it. He only get, what is it? 2, 3 first downs? That's it. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they start their game with the field goal. You know, they start the possession with the field goal. Jason Myers kicks a 56-yard field goal. Before that field goal even happened, Jar Barnett goes up for 4 yards. 2nd and 6, Geno Smith passed for Barner for 6 yards. That's good for first. Geno Smith passed deep middle for Tyler Lockett. I mean, Tyler Lockett, you cannot sleep on Tyler Lockett, bro. He goes up for 18 yards. And then they go to the Miami's 37, and Seattle calls a timeout. I thought it was pretty strange. Jar Barnett goes up the middle for nothing. 2nd and 5, Geno Smith gets sacked by hands for losing 5 yards. Good stuff there. And 3rd and 15, Geno Smith passed for Jar Barnett for 5 yards. And then Jason Sanders kicks a 56-yarder. Our drive, it starts off with this. It's a pretty good start for Thompson. I will say this. Skylar Thompson throws a short pass to Achane for 22 yards. That winds up being his longest passing yards for the day. It goes to Seattle 48. 1st and 10, Jalen Wright goes up for 9 yards. 2nd and 1, incomplete to Achane. 3rd and 1, nowhere to go. Didn't get the first down. Jason Sanders kicks a field goal, 57 yards. Much like Jason Sanders kicks a 56-yarder. Problem is, it went wide to the left. I mean, who didn't see that one coming? And Seattle makes us pay very quickly. Jar Barnett goes up for 13 yards. First down. Already, Geno Smith passed short left for Fant for 11 yards. First down at 10 again. Jar Barnett goes up to the left for 3 yards. 2nd and 7. In no huddling. They're not even huddling. It's a shotgun formation. Geno Smith passed deep right for DK Metcalf for 22 yards. And in the very next play, Jar Barnett goes up the middle, goes up the left for 4 yards, and he scores a touchdown. Extra points good. 10-0 Seattle. Our possession, it starts with the first down, but the penalty will be on Miami for a hold. 1st and 16, pass. There would be a pass short at the middle short at the right for Jalen Waddle for 6 yards, but penalty would be on Seattle for unnecessary roughness on a 15-yard. That was a late hit out of bounds. 1st down at 10. Achane 9 yards. 2nd and 1. Achane losing 4 yards. 3rd and 5. Thompson gets sacked. He ends up fumbling the football, and it was recovered by Armstead very quickly. And Mike McDaniel was thinking, should he call a timeout? He was right next to the referee. Could he call a timeout there? He did not. And it was just an ugly situation for Skylar Thompson. Bailey punts it. Seattle goes up the next. Jar Barnett goes up the right for losing a yard. Emmanuel Ogbah with the tackle. 2nd 11. Geno Smith pass right to Metcalf. For 11 yards, that'll be a first down. However, there was an offensive pass interference. You pushed off a defender. Yeah, you can't do that. And in the very next play, pass was intended to Jar Barnett. What was a pretty bad pass. I believe if I remember, it was like lobbed up, and he couldn't make that ricochet up, and Kader Kohu picks off Geno Smith. That's an interception. Miami takes over at the Seattle 6. So we're in very good position to score a touchdown here. What do they do? What do they do? Achane goes up for 2 yards, but penalty was on Miami for legal formation, so that backs him up at the Seattle 11. First and goal at the Seattle 11. Skylar Thompson passing right to Tanner Connor. I think it's Tanner Connor, if I'm not mistaken. For a yard, second and goal. Pass short left for Ingold for 6 yards. Almost making it. And Skylar Thompson and a timeout's been called for Miami. Skylar Thompson with a really bad throw. I'm sorry, it was a bad throw. Incomplete. Jason Sanders had to kick a field goal to make it 10-3 Seattle. So that sucked. That could have been a touchdown opportunity, but it wasn't. Then that would be the end of first quarter. Or actually, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I'm sorry, my mistake. Before the end of the first quarter, this happened. There would be a penalty. There would be a kickoff return for 60 yards. Penalty for illegal formation. 5 yards were enforced. The first play of Seattle's drive was a pass to DK Metcalf, and he's gone. The very first play, it was a blown coverage at the corner secondary. Javon Holland could not keep up and could not catch up to Metcalf, and he is gone. 71 yards to score a touchdown for Seattle to make it 17-3. I mean, terrible defense there. It really is. I'm sorry. It is. And now, just like that, it would be 17-3 for quite a while. Since then, Miami punt, and punt. There's only one good play happened, which was the first play. Thompson passing to Jalen Waddle for 10 yards. Since then, they can't advance. Seattle's possession. Now we're in the second quarter, I should mention. Seattle's possession, Geno Smith goes up for Chenault, pushing it for 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Charbonnet for 3 yards. 3rd and 5, Geno Smith is finding open receivers. Tyler Lockett for 7 yards. 1st and 10, Geno Smith and the shotgun formation, 16 yards for fans. 1st and 10 at their own 49. Another big pass to Smith. I can't pronounce it. For 15 yards. That goes all the way to Miami 36. No huddle. Pass incomplete for 10 for Lockett. 2nd and 10. I'm sorry. Goes up the right for 6 yards. However, there will be a penalty on Seattle for offensive hold for 10 yards. So no play happens. 2nd and 20. Pass short left for Charbonnet for 3 yards. 3rd and 17. Pass short right for Brown for 9 yards. So Jason Myers have to kick a field goal for 53 yards. And just curving it to the left, he misses. So the field goal was no good. Field goal is no good. He missed it to the left. Since then, Miami could not capitalize on anything. Jalen Wright goes up for 8 yards. Seattle's Murphy gets hurt. I think he wound up coming back in the game. But Achane goes up for 13 yards, first down, and that's pretty much it. Seattle didn't get much in their next possession either. Geno Smith gets sacked after the first down pass to Lockett for 17 yards. Geno Smith gets sacked by Zach Sealer for 7 yards, and they couldn't do anything else. Miami, 3 and out. 3 and out Miami. However, a lot of stinking penalties in a row, mostly on the special teams. So, while I don't talk about 3 and outs, I have to talk about this one. So, Skylar Thompson passing up for Ingold for 4 yards, nothing there. Incomplete. The next play on a deep right, just overthrowing everything. And then shotgun penalty would be on Eichenberg for false start. And then 3rd and 11, Thompson just gets blatantly sacked, just getting destroyed. He's just getting destroyed, bro. And then the penalty would be on Austin Jackson for illegal formation. That penalty was declined. 4th and 19. Bailey punts it. And it goes all the way to Seattle 20. Penalty would be on Miami for illegal formation. That's the second illegal formation in a row. 4th and 24. Bailey punts for 57 yards. That goes all the way towards the Seattle 5. That was a really good punt. However, another freaking penalty on Miami for unnecessary roughness. That is ridiculous. Those are terrible calls. And finally, you're finally seeing Mike McDaniel losing his mind. He was visibly upset of the situation, screaming at the referees with these calls, illegal formations, and they don't even seem to care. It's the same referee that just had that smirk look on his face when he's making a call. You know what? You know that referee I'm talking about. So it becomes a 4th and 39, punting it for the third straight time, and this time it goes at the Seattle 42 because it was an 11-yard return from Williams. Seattle would not get much in this drive. There would be a penalty, and then there was really not much happening there. But actually, what is happening here? What is happening here, folks? All right, here we go. I think ESPN might have bugged out a little bit. I'm going to try my best to get this in order. 4th and 42. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I think I got it. So Charbonnet gets only a yard. 2-minute warning. Geno Smith after the 2-minute warning actually there was a penalty on Connor Williams for an offensive hold. So that backs him up. That Connor Williams, remember him? He was our player. He was our offensive center, a snapper. He gets a penalty of an offensive forward. What have we heard of that before? 1st and 20, Geno Smith pass short right for Tyler Lockett, losing 2 yards. 2nd and 22, Charbonnet goes up left for 5 yards. There will be a timeout being called. Penalty on Connor Williams again for 5 yards for a false start. Charbonnet getting 3 yards, and 4th and 19 after a timeout by Miami, they punted. Skylar Thompson with the pass deep left for Hill. Finally, Tyreek Hill gets a pass for 17 yards. 1st and 10. That's it. No huddle. They just couldn't get down the field whatsoever at all. But after the incomplete pass to Smith, there would be an illegal contact on Woolen on Seattle. So by rule you have to play another down because it was a defensive penalty with 0 seconds left. And then Skylar Thompson just gets decked from behind. Didn't even see it. Then he fumbles the ball, but that doesn't matter. That was it. Miami would get the ball back at the half, and 3 and out. It would be a 3 and out situation, which didn't help it. Which didn't help anything. However, I will say this though: with this possession, I want to bring this up before I talk about Seattle 3 and outs, which probably not. There was a major sack by Dodson against Skylar Thompson. It looked like his body weight was on Skylar Thompson. Thompson got hurt. He got hurt. You can see that he was limping off the field. So after the Seattle 3 and outs, there was because of the fact that because they just couldn't get down the field, and then the penalty happens, which would be an offset. Charbonnet goes up 2 yards, 2nd and 8, pass short right for Metcalf for 2 yards. Storm Duck gets hurt during the play. I think he came back during the play. I forgot. 3rd and 6. Geno Smith gets sacked by Calais Campbell, which was a good sack. They had to punt it, but in doing so, penalties offset for illegal formation and offensive hold or Miami hold. But yeah, that was rough. Skylar Thompson would come back in the game for a couple of downs. Skylar Thompson passed in deep middle for Tyreek Hill for 17 yards. 1st and 10 at their own 40. Skylar Thompson with another pass to Achane that goes up for 5 yards to make a 2nd and 5. But boy, after he threw that pass, I was so pissed off. I didn't even post anything on social media. What happens is, after the throw, I forgot who it was on the Seattle side, but he hit Skylar Thompson just a little bit late. Now, I seen calls being called roughing the passer on that situation, even though I know for a fact that it wasn't 2 seconds or 2 or more steps. I understand it was immediately after the throw, but still, I've seen that getting called anyway. I guarantee you, this happened to Patrick Mahomes, all the referees would not hesitate to throw a flag. I promise you. It's going to happen this season. It might not be tonight, but when it happens, look back at this video and then say, man, Miami TVG was right, because this really pissed me off. He was hit late. He was hit pretty late. Little late? Sure, but he was hit late. By rule, that should have been roughing the passer, and nothing was called. I was livid. He was getting beaten. I mean, granted, I know I shouldn't speak ill of the pain. He didn't play great, but oh my God, NFL, you're being anal with people with protecting quarterbacks, right? But you're not enforcing it whenever it's against the Dolphins. And that is mind-boggling, bro. Skylar Thompson gets hurt after getting hit with 2 hands, by the way. Incredible that nothing was called, and he's hurt for the rest of the game. And I hope Skylar Thompson is okay. He didn't play great, but I hope he's okay. I really hope he's okay. He wound up never coming back for the rest of the game. I don't know if it was a concussion thing or something. I don't know. But that was bad. So Tim Boyle had to come in for the rest of the game. He passed it to Wilson for 4 yards to make it 3rd and 1. Alec Ingo losing a yard and then passes incomplete. Nothing much to say. 3 and out for the Seattle Seahawks. Charbonnet goes up for 5 yards, but there will be a penalty on Brown for an offensive hold. So that backs him up to 1st and 20. Geno Smith, 2 passes in a row for McCaffrey, incomplete. 3rd and 20, false start. 3rd and 25, Charbonnet for 12 yards, but that's it. They punted. Dolphins now. Achane goes up for 7 yards. Oh, wait. Penalty on the Dolphins for going for offensive hold, so back them up. Since then, pass right to Waddle. Pass left to Tyreek Hill for 6 yards, and 3rd and 11. Almost making it 1st down for Wilson, but just didn't get it. And then next Seattle's possession, Geno Smith goes up the left for a fence for 6 yards, 2nd to 4. Geno Smith for Lockett for 6 yards. 1st and 10, Geno Smith pass the middle for Fant for 15 yards. 1st and 10, Geno Smith pass up the middle for Charbonnet for 8 yards. 2nd and 2, Geno Smith pass for short right for Barner for 8 yards. 1st and 10, Geno Smith losing yard for Barner, Jalen Ramsey, and Boyer. 2nd and 11, pass incomplete. Penalty would be on Seattle for Geno Smith. I gotta tell you, I thought that was gonna be roughing the passer. I would have been livid if they called that one a roughing the passer, even though it's roughly the same thing. Instead, what happened was Geno Smith throwing the ball as he was getting taken down. Nobody was there. Yeah, there was an offensive line in front of them, but there was no receiver. By rule, that is an intentional grounding, and losing it down and losing it with the 11-yard penalty to make it a 3rd and 22. Pass in the next play, Geno Smith passing a right intended for Tyler Lockett, but that was ricocheted up, and Zach Sealer picks off Geno Smith. Geno Smith gets picked off 2 times in this game, and that was a nice interception by our D-line. It was amazing. What does Miami Dolphins do in this drive? Achane goes up for a yard. 2nd and 9. I think it's Tim Boyle. Pass incomplete for Al Engel, but there was a pass interference, which would make it a Miami first down. And that would be the end of the third quarter. Tim Boyle, first play of the fourth, he scrambles up for 6 yards, not bad, and it was a perfect slide too. 2nd and 4, Achane goes up the right for 3 yards. 3rd and 1, Achane for 2 yards, first down. 1st and 10, Tim Boyle passing right for Smith for 13 yards. Nice pass, nice play. Tim Boyle after that, incomplete for Waddle. 2nd and 10, pass short middle for Hill for 11 yards. Austin Jackson gets hurt. He would come back a couple of plays later. Achane losing a yard. Achane getting 2 yards. Austin Jackson returns. 3rd and 2, passes incomplete, and 4th and 2, needing this touchdown to try to get some sort of chance. And the football is going nowhere. It really isn't. Now the pass to Durham Smythe, that was almost it. That was a great effort by Durham Smythe, but man, that was rough. The receivers are not getting anything. And then the next possession, Seattle just finishes it off. It took 11 plays at their own 2-yard line. Charbonnet, 3 yards, 2nd and 7, pass short left for Smith. I can't pronounce it. For 6 yards, penalty would be on Miami for Kader Hoover, face mask, which is warranted. I saw the fat mask getting moved. 1st and 10, Geno Smith, another Geno Smith passed the Metcalf for 9 yards. Injury update, Storm Duck has returned to the game. Awesome. 2nd and 1, penalty for false start. 2nd and 5 now. Geno Smith losing 5 yards. It was a bad snap, but it was rebounded and Fant was able to pick up or catch that football for 4 yards. 3rd and 1, Charbonnet 2 yards to make it a first down. 1st and 10, pass short left for Fant for 8 yards. 2nd and 2, no huddle shotgun, pass short left for Smith Nijba for 18 yards. Yeah, 18 yards, blown coverage once again. First down, Charbonnet goes up the middle for 13 yards. Another first down. Charbonnet once again for another 11 yards. Once again, first down. Charbonnet for 3 yards. Miami calls timeout. 2nd and 7. Charbonnet, 10 yards. And that's game, set, and match. That is game, set, and match. That'll make it a 24-3 game because Jason Myers will kick almost all the football into the goalpost. All of them were PATs, but he missed the field goal. And then Miami just didn't do anything in this one. Tim Boyle passing for 13 yards. Wow, that's a nice play. Miami calls their final timeout. Tim Boyle passing right to Achane for 4 yards. Penalty would get them right back to where they were. 1st and 15. Boyle to Eskridge. Yeah, for 30 yards. Which, great play, I guess. Tim Boyle passing it to Durham Smythe for 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Boyle gets sacked for 9 yards. Penalty would be on Miami. Achane for chop block. They're just not calling anything against the Seahawks. They just don't. 3rd and 16, pass incomplete. And then 4th and 16, that's pretty much it. They pass another incomplete. And then Seattle gets a first down. They take the knee, and that's it. Final score 24-3. It was a horrible game from start to finish. There was nothing, folks. There was absolutely nothing. Tim Boyle comes in and played better. 7 for 13, sure. But it's for 79 yards. He averages 6.1 yards per average. Skylar Thompson, 13 for 19. He was terrible. I'm sorry. He was awful. He got sacked 5 times. And I will say this. I'm going to say this too. Not all the time it's the quarterback's fault. We don't have an offensive line. We just don't have an offensive line. Our offensive line has been downgraded. It's terrible. Quarterbacks are not getting protected. Look what happened to Tua. Now look what happened to Skylar Thompson. Mostly because of the fact that A, they got good defenses, and B, we have a very lackluster offensive line. But still, even despite having a terrible offensive line, Skylar Thompson did not play good. I hope he's going to be okay, but he did not play good. Geno Smith, however, 26 catches and 34 passes attempted with 289 yards, 8.5 average, one touchdown pass, and that pass was to DK Metcalf for 71 yards. Think about that. Defense, not there. He does get picked off twice. I will say this, he does get picked off twice. He got picked off by Kader Kohu, and he got picked off by Zach Sealer. But man, this game was awful. This game was horrible. It was horrible from start to finish. And I'm going to say this, me being brutally honest. For those who are going to say that, look at the situation with the quarterbacks and the offensive line, the coaching, I'm probably going to agree with you. The offensive line, definitely, it's terrible. The quarterback situation, yes. He was awful. How are we going to expect to compete in a Monday night game next week? And then for those who are going to say, Tua this, Tua that, this seems not great when Tua isn't there, shut up. I'm going to say shut up. Because all these years, I hear Tua being blinked for mostly everything. He wasn't even playing this game. He was there. Are you going to say because of his presence the team sucked? Ludicrous. This team is bad for numerous reasons. Like I just explained it. But Tua, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not one of them. You know why? He didn't even play a freaking game. There are plenty of chances. There were a couple of chances where we could have scored at the end zone and just didn't. A lot of lollipops being thrown up by Skylar Thompson and even Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle played just a little bit better. What is going on? Is it Frank Smith, the offensive coordinator, making these play calls? Or is it Mike McDaniel? What is it? It's not Tua. Because if you say Tua, then you're a moron. I'm sorry, you're a moron. Fan base so divided, just blaming Tua for everything, man. And it's not even his fault. We got our asses kicked. And I'm sick of it. To be honest, I'm sick of it. I'm done talking about this. I'm going to bed. Seattle, you're a hell of a team. You're 3-0. I'm not complaining much about you. I'm complaining about ourselves. You played great. You deserve this win. We didn't deserve this win at all. Anyway, our next game is going to be a Monday night game against Tennessee Titans. That is a winnable game. A winnable game. If we don't win this game, well then, we don't deserve to make playoffs. I promise you. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, folks. If you like this video somehow, some way, and not the game, hit the like button, subscribe for content anyway, because Miami TVG is back. And when he does, he'll be right there with your favorite team that you deserve. This is Miami TVG. Sign out, folks. Good night.